Turns out the real final boss was audience disappointment. Oh my goodness. Let me get through this and then we can discuss. The
Yeah.
Peacemaker
Yeah.
season 2 finale has fans fuming across social media with reactions ranging from not good TV to so effing bad. What started as a cult hit for the DCU and James Gunn's offbeat tone now faces accusations of tonal whiplash, rushed arcs, and finale that undercut its own emotional stakes. Some blame the broader DCU reset, others say the show lost its edge. Either way, the finale has fractured the fandom and not in a multiversal way. For a show built on chaos, this ending might have gone too far off the rails. Did Peacemaker lose its punch, or is this just the price of playing in a rebooted universe? Okay. First off, did everybody see Peacemaker
Yes.
season 2?
Yes.
I've seen it. Everybody's
Mhm.
seen it. All
Okay.
right. So
Yep.
you want to just
Yep.
like go between like we'll start
So,
with someone and then
Shadu, what you want to? You're doing a lot with your hands. What do you think about Peacemaker season 2?
I'm probably gonna have the most lukewarm take here.
Okay, lukewarm. Warm it up.
It's about the temperature of a tauntaun. No. So I was a little disappointed. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. I thought the first part of it, like the first part of the episode, the acting was a little simply because I think it kind of, I don't know. I thought they were kind of spelling too much stuff out. They were really telling, not showing a lot of it. And then he got out and whatever. It was a lot to pack into the last episode. I think that's what the problem is. I think it needed like 3 more episodes to develop all of this and to get it all out. Because just doing one long last episode was not enough. We needed another couple of episodes to really build all this up and really figure out what we were doing. There were interesting ideas being thrown forth. There were interesting things. It felt really, really rushed, and that's the problem. And yeah, and I wish we had seen a little bit more of Earth X too. I think that was kind of a missed opportunity. I wish we'd followed up a little. I'm sure we will at some point in the universe follow up on the Keith stuff.
Like once you got the reveal, you're like, okay, let's see what's happening over here. Versus just a mural.
Right, exactly. It's like, yeah,
Mein Kampf on the table.
Yeah, it was like there was a little bit of missed opportunity there. We could have explored a little bit more. Could have been more nuanced. Could have been, well, not nuanced, but could have been more like, oh, let's really explore how this works and why it's bad. And we need to be telling people why the Nazis were bad at this point. So let's do some of that.
Before we get to Frey, I want to ask you. So episodes 1 through 7 versus episode 8. What was your take on like the rest of the season versus how the season wrapped?
I do think it like the rest of the season was really pretty good. Again, I think everything was just a little rushed. I can kind of, looking back, like retroactively, see everything was a little rushed. So, but generally it was pretty good. I mean, it was a little confusing, but I think we wrapped everything up. It is funny that everybody clocked Earth X so quickly too. It is very funny to me. And I feel like that may have ruined a little bit of it for some people. So, all right, Frey, go.
Well, to answer, like to kind of comment on you think that ruined it for everybody a little bit. I think that was by design, to be honest with you, that James Gunn wanted everyone to think that was the twist, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
The twist was what came at the very end of the last that they were trying to find a prison planet. That's why they wanted the portal that was stable. So so I think it was that kind of double twist thing. I came at it a different way. In comic book story arcs, everything, all the battles and everything, they're just like, oh, it's over a whole bunch of episodes, right? It's like, or issues, right? So you have like this arc that's like 6 issues long, right? And 5 of those issues it's the battle, it's us getting through it. And the last issue is jam-packed of them all resolving everything, and you get a teaser for the next story arc. And so that's how I took it. I was like, oh, this is just your comic book story arc ending. Oh, yeah, this is, yeah. we're getting, oh, it's all good vibes, everybody's happy, so of course somebody's going to come in and pee in the punch. So I, I I expected something, because I knew, like, because James Gunn's, oh, this is gonna tie directly into Man of Tomorrow, and I think it does. I don't think it took anything away from the story that came before it, and
Mm.
I really feel I felt like this was a very it was almost a parody of the genre of, okay, here's the action thing, and now we're all good, things great, and montage after montage. After he said he doesn't really like the montage, he thinks it's kind of hacky, and so I took it as the comic book panels, like where you see people putting stuff in their off, not really any talking or anything, and they're putting stuff in their offices, and they're getting back to, I mean, the new Teen Titans. They did it all the time. They would come back to their little T headquarters, and they'd all go to their rooms and have a little sleep or shag or whatever. I mean, depending on who they were, but
Titan
I didn't
Tower,
see anything
please.
wrong with it.
If you're Starfire,
Titan Towers.
if you're Starfire and Dick Grayson, then yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
shag.
your name is literally Dick. Like, come on.
Yeah.
All right, young,
Yeah.
Yeah.
young
All right,
Phil,
Phil.
what did you think of season 2 as a whole, and then how the season 2 wrapped?
I love the season as a whole. There were a lot of things that I was able to predict pretty early. I mean, we were all talking about Earth X. My cameo that I wanted, I kind of almost was like waiting for Overman to show up and have somebody else play, like, Nazi Superman. But like, it didn't happen. That was fine because we were in that universe and everything that happened. But like, I called it from the beginning, and I think it was. I think actually, James, it was something that you had said that put me onto it and made me pay attention to it. And I think it was like the first time he went in there, he goes, "Did you notice that there was nobody brown in there?"
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately was like, "It's Earth X! It's Earth X! It has to be Earth X!" And I like went off on that and looked for every sign that it was Earth X every time we went back there, and it ended up being that. So I mean, like we called that. I thought that the way that they wove the storyline was good. There was a lot of emotion between Harcourt and Chris. I wanted to say John, but it was but it's not John. That's Economos. But I mean, like I love the way that they told the story. In general, I love the updates on a lot of these characters. We've seen Vigilante in the past, and I love the way that he reinvented Vigilante for this series in season 1, and even more expanding on season 2. Like, basically, he's a giant 12-year-old that never grew up.
Yeah.
Like he's got that whole, he's still in that like rebellious fuck you mom stage, and just never grew out of that. And it's just like, what, your mom is like the nicest person in the world. Anyways, season finale. A lot of people were talking about like how rushed it felt. A lot of people talked about how they didn't like this and like that and all these other things. This was a setup for Salvation Run. So I mean, if you're not unfamiliar with the comics, go check out Salvation Run. It's a setup for it. I mean, especially at the very end, when Chris is on the planet and he hears a bunch of monsters, it's like, oh no, this is Salvation Run. This is literally the planet that they go to because they thought it was an uninhabited planet. And it's got nothing but monsters, like the monsters of your nightmares on it, that they didn't realize were there. And what I love is, this is directly going to tie into the New Gods, because this originally, the planet that they're on is a planet where Orion trains. He was a training planet for him to like train himself, and he goes and fights these monsters.
And the parademons too.
And the parademons. So I mean, like, I again, this is a complete setup for Salvation Run, and them saying that they're going to set up, that they're setting up for future implications within the DCU. This is a place where they put supervillains. Like, this is a place where they put supervillains in this prison planet in order to keep them, and they basically, again, Lord of the Flies, it becomes a supervillain Lord of the Flies. So I mean, like, again, there is setup for this, and I was not upset with the way that everything went. Also, getting checkmate at the end when they said, "Oh yeah, we're not getting season." I think me and Jen talked about this when they said that we are not getting a season 3 of Peacemaker. Well, it's because we're getting season 1 of Checkmate.
Yeah, and did I not say that we were gonna get checkmate? Did
You
I
did.
not say that? I said that, like, before Superman. I said that when he was just talking about stuff. Well, this might come out over here, and this might do over here, and da da da. I
Yeah.
was like, "We're getting checkmate. I know it's gonna happen," and bam.
Especially considering where Checkmate falls in line with, like, specifically Checkmate as an organization falls in line with Salvation Run. Like, they're the ones that are grabbing all the villains and black bagging these villains. They're basically the second generation of Suicide Squad, and they're over here just like throwing people into they're DC's equivalent to the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And they're basically black bagging all these villains and throwing them on the planet. So I mean, like, he's completely set up Salvation Run just in this last episode. But if you don't know the comics, because the thing is James Gunn is not holding anyone's hands, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like other comic book thing universe, they'll hold your hand through everything. He's just setting it up, and you're gonna learn as we go. He's setting up storylines for way down the road, and I feel like if you really want to get into this and you want to know where the story is going to go, well, I just gave you the name, right? Go check out Salvation Run, and that's going to give you an idea of where the storylines are going to go. It's not going to go exactly that way, but this is where you can get an idea of how things are going to happen, and that also will give you context to how Man of Tomorrow is going to work.
Yeah. No, most of my problem was just I liked where they went with it. I liked all the story decisions and everything. It's really just it felt like it needed about 3 more episodes. That's literally pretty much it.
And
I
we're
like
getting
all
3
the
more episodes in the next season of the show.
Sure, but I'm saying to set all this up, to really let it simmer and like, okay, one episode is checkmate, one episode is this. I think that's Anyway, James, what were your thoughts?
James, your thoughts, sir?
So my take is yes, there was a lot of like nerd heavy guessing. This is Earth X. This is not Earth X. We know what's gonna happen. James Gunn does an incredible job of telling stories that we think we know and making them adapt into something else that is completely new, but also telling some good character stories. I think the good part about like not knowing what Earth X is and leaving it out there, but also kind of backfired because when you talk about Salvation and you talk about Checkmate, for the nerds, you may know it or you may go investigate it, which is great. Like, okay, let me go pick up a comic book and see what this is about. And maybe that's what he wanted to do, was have people pick up comic books and go, let me go learn about the Salvation Run. Let me go learn about Checkmate, that sort of thing. I think for the average fan, I think that's where a lot of the backlash starts to happen, because it's like you leave me with a bit of a cliffhanger and some untold, like, where is this going with Checkmate, Salvation, and it's like you want me to know what it is, but you're not telling me what it is, and I think that big of a cliffhanger kind of missed the mark because it wasn't like a cute little bow wrapped up on things.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
you
there
guys want
was
the bows.
so there was a bit where he showed Peter Safran a cut of the episode where it ended with Checkmate. Before spoiler alert, before Peacemaker gets nabbed and put in over at Salvation. And Peter Safran was like, "Well, you have to put in Salvation. Like, you have to do that. You have to like lead where it's gonna go." So he's like, "All right, let's do it." So it's a little interesting because it's such a cliffhanger for like what's gonna happen next, and knowing like we're not gonna do a Peacemaker season 3, and we may spin off and do something else without actually saying it. I think that can leave viewers with a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth about like, well, you're just leaving open-ended pieces, and I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think he should probably come out pretty quickly and say, hey, no, the reason there's not a season 3 is because we're looking into doing a season 1 of checkmate. Like, you know, that
Mhm.
kind
Right,
of
or a
continued
season on a
story.
Salvation run, maybe. We'll see.
Well,
Yeah,
I
something
think
like
that's
that.
why he did that post about Man of Tomorrow. Like, hey, this is where we are gonna go, but
Mhm.
it doesn't really connect with Peacemaker, so it's like feels a little open ended,
Yeah.
but we'll
Yeah.
see what happens.
And then
But
also
I enjoyed it overall. I enjoyed the series a
the
ton.
Oh
the
yeah.
Yeah.
the other thing with Salvation Run in general, it ties into the theme of gods and monsters. Because
Mhm.
again, you have a
Mhm.
planet full of monsters that Orion used to run on. You literally have gods and monsters on this planet.
Right.
So I mean, and again, it is a easy way for them to start introducing, like, kind of slow dripping the new gods into everything. So
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Great.
You know, as much
Yep.
as we talk about like, hey, who's going to be Batman? Is David Cornsweet a good Superman? That sort of thing. What's going to happen with the DCU? He's set up a lot with Peacemaker and told some good character-driven stories within Peacemaker that could do a lot. And I think he
Yeah.
did a good job of like showing diversity and giving range for the actors and letting them act, letting them tell good stories and showing good
Mhm.
character arcs. I was really impressed. I was impressed with John Cena, to be honest. Like, I
Yeah.
know
Dude, he's
I'm a
good.
mark, I'm a
Yeah.
wrestling mark, and I'm a fan of John Cena, but seeing him act, it's crazy how good he's gotten. I just watched Daddy's Home with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, and he's in that,
Yeah.
and he was
Yeah.
so stiff. Like, he just has like a 5-minute part, but it's so stiff, and he has like 2 lines, and it's like, oh, it's so stiff.
You can just
But
see his growth as an actor.
yeah,
Also,
Yeah.
I just had an epiphany moment right now, right? I've been talking about how much I want Alan Richardson to be Batman, right?
mhm.
You
Oh,
had
yeah.
the same epiphany moment. God damn it.
What if Alan Richardson is Orion?
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
I could see that.
I would 100% be on board with Alan Richardson as Orion.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing.
Because I think he was probably like, I think he was like, yeah, I want to be Batman. And he goes, I got a better idea. Orion. And Alan Richardson was probably like, yes.
He's like, oh, I'm Highfather's son that got swapped and got raised by Darkseid. You
And
got
pretty
it,
much
dude.
Thor. Okay.
Right?
Sounds good.
Matt in the chat saying he would be a good Orion. He would be a great Orion. I 100% agree with that. As
I
much
do-
as I would love him to be Batman, I think he would be an amazing Orion.
I do think
I do
that's
too.
where the helmets are coming from. I do think
Oh my
that,
god, those are Orion's helmets. That'd be so dope.
and they're all like lined up in the QUC, and it's all
Okay.
just Orion being like, okay, I'm gonna go test myself. What helmet am I gonna choose? And then it's just Peacemaker just stealing helmets here and there. Just let me grab this one.
That
Let me
would
grab
be
that one.
funny. That would be good.
That's probably what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
And then
Oh my
Orion just shows
gosh.
up. It's like, what are you doing
James
with my
just
helmet?
cracked the
Oh
code.
my god. Okay, I had to like double take, do a double take on it real quick. Earth X Peacemaker's helmets are 100% Orion's helmet.
Oh my gosh.
I had to go
Okay.
look at it. I was like, Orion's helmet. I was like, can it be Peacemaker's helmet? And I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh my god, that is Orion's helmet. 100% is Orion's helmet.
Yeah.
Well,
And then in a weird, strange twist, he has his like flying scooter thing, but then he trades it for the Peacemaker cycle.
Yeah, all right. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
we
go.
have okay.
Yeah.
So we have predicted the rest of the DCU on this show. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
All right.
let's go
Yeah.
ahead.
Now that we've cracked the codes, move on.
We vibed, trends, served the New York Comic Con recap bites, and gave opinions with extra spice. Let's wrap this up with the Geek End update, where cosplay meets crowd control and the pop culture pulse goes live.